All right, so now we're going to move into authorization and authentication and letting users log in, sign up, and log out. And we're going to be leveraging something that comes built in with Django. So Django includes their own authentication app that we can use. Now let's take a look first at what it even is or where it even is. If you go into your project config settings.py and scroll all the way to the top to the installed apps, we can see this list of pre-installed apps, basically just apps that are coming from Django. And all of these, we can think of them as being just like this trip app. So there's nothing magical here. They're just going to be another app in our project, but they come pre-configured, pre-made with Django. And if we look right here at this line, we can see this second one is django.contrib.auth. And so that one deals with authentication. The sessions and content types also helps with this auth feature, but this is the clear one here that handles authentication and authorization, and it's one we're going to be using in this video. So throughout this, let's just remember that there's nothing magical happening. It's just going to be another app, this django.contrib.auth. And just like our trip app, this will have views, URLs, models, all relating to the auth feature. And so one thing we can do is actually use the URLs from this auth in our project. So let's head into our config urls.py. And just like we included here, our trip.urls, we can also include from that Django auth URLs. So we just duplicated this line, and for the path, we're going to make it accounts/. Now this is what Django has in their docs when they're explaining this, but I think you can put any path here. It's just that we will be using accounts. So if you want to be consistent with the project, you can use accounts. Otherwise, you can use whatever you'd like. And this time, instead of including from our trip app URLs, we're going to be including from django.contrib.auth.urls. So django.contrib.auth was that app in our settings that got installed, came pre-installed. And so all we're doing is using that URL file. Just like here in our trip.urls app, we are literally just referencing this urls.py file right here. Inside of that Django contrib auth URLs will be a very similar file. So it'll just have some routes and some views. Make sure we save that. And now this out of the box gives us a number of URLs and views that deal with authentication and authorization. And I'm just going to paste those in below just so we can take a look. So it gives us a number of built-in views and URLs. See, we have one here for logging in, one here for logging out, and then a number that deal with password changing and resetting. So it gives us a lot out of the box. And the reason Django does this is because it's a common pattern. Most web apps, websites are going to want users to log in and log out and reset their password or change their password. So instead of having us write this every time, Django just created the functionality for this, and they include it with the Django code. But what doesn't come included with the django.contrib.auth are templates. So we have these URLs and the associated views, but we need to create the templates. But before we do that, let's just see what happens when we go to these pages. So let's save this and make sure that your server is running. And then open it up in a browser. And now if we go to /accounts/login, you can see we get this error here. Let me just zoom out a little bit. We get this error, template does not exist at accounts login. So again, we get the URL and the view, but our view now is looking for this template, registration/login.html. So in the next videos, we will go ahead and create these templates for logging in and logging out. And then we will also look at how to handle signing up, registering, which doesn't come included, but we will create our own custom sign up for that. So I will see you in the next video.